What is up, guys? It is me, Real American Politics, back again with a new video. And today I wanted to do a prediction of what is the Republicans' best case scenario in the 2022 midterms for the Senate and governor elections. Now, this is going to be one of the more intriguing midterms in a while. This is the chance for the Republicans to take over the party of America First people, populists, blue collar people. And they have a bunch of opportunities both at the governor level and the senator level. Now, a lot of these states, it comes down to who can Republicans get on the ballot. And this is if Republicans get everything right, the economy is falling apart, etc., etc. So now, let's get right into it. For the Senate predictions, this will be the Republicans' best case scenario. Safe Republican states, you get the drill. These are safe Republican, especially in a midterm with everything going in their favor. So these would all be safe Republican, no matter what, and even Ohio, assuming J.D. Vance is a nominee, which I think he would be. And there you go. These are the safe Republican states, no matter what. And Florida, because of Marco Rubio, he would win by 10 points, either or. So not that crazy to think of. Now, for the Democrats, the safe states would be California, Washington, Hawaii, and Connecticut. And New York, I should say. Now, Connecticut could get a bit closer if you run some kind of like economic moderate to social moderate too. It may seem cringe, but if you run somebody that can appeal to those guys that just like, we really don't care about social issues, we just care about economic issues, you could get it closer, but not really going to change much. So, in this scenario, we have 12 potential Republican states, right? Now, let's go through it. Oregon. Democrats will win here no matter what. I mean, best case scenario, likely Democrat. It could maybe, you could say, get within 5 points, but even then, that's a stretch. I'm saying likely 6-7 point win for Democrats in the best case scenario for the Republicans. In this scenario, the Nevada Democrat Party completely implodes. So I believe Republicans' best case scenario as of now is around a 4-5 point win for the Senate race. Arizona, kind of same deal, 2-3 points. Again, this depends on what Mark Kelly does, assuming that he, does some insane stuff, gun control crap. Then he would lose by 2-3 points. Colorado, don't waste money here. No matter what, it's going to be at best lean Democrat. If you get some Chad Hispanic to run there, you get lead Democrat, but don't waste money there. It's not going to flip. You get some people who are like, oh, it's going to flip. It's not. It's like the Ohio for the Democrats. It's gone. You're not going to win it. Stop wasting money. Wisconsin, likely Republican. This is assuming Kevin Nicholson or Ron Johnson's on the ballot. They would win by 3-4 points in normal election. Everything else, 5-6, maybe 7 points. If the economy is so bad, I think that it would help Republicans greatly in the home state of Wisconsin. Now, Illinois. This is the one state where it straight up depends who the candidate is. If it's some kind of guy that can appeal to those suburbs in Chicago, which only vote on fiscal issues that want lower taxes, you could get it maybe within 10, and Duckworth only won by around 14, I believe. So it's not crazy to say likely Democrat if you run somebody that can appeal to those suburbs that just vote on fiscal issues alone. They don't really like Trumpism because they're a bit more free trade, and they don't care about social issues that much. Just they care about one thing, that's economic issues. Fiscally conservative, they just want low taxes. So you could run somebody like that, red wave here, it could get likely margin. Now for Georgia. Best case scenario, football dude runs, Warnock is a fraud, everybody hates him. I do believe would be a 4-5 point win for football dude Herschel Walker. That would be epic. I think he will be running. And even if he doesn't run, there's a couple good candidates. Doug Collins I could see running again. Just don't run Loeffler again. It will not work. Just don't. Please stop. Now, North Carolina could be likely in this scenario if somebody really good runs. Now, I know Big Rob isn't going to run, sadly, but if you run somebody that's as good as him, you can find somebody that can appeal to the Appalachia area while at the same time appeal to the Triangle Cities. If you do that, yeah, you're probably going to win by 5-6 points. In a red wave year, not crazy to think about. I mean, North Carolina, you look at the data, it trended Republican. Don't let the election mafia say otherwise. You take into the fact the national environment, the national swing, it swung around 2.5 points Democrat, yet this state only swung by like 2 points Democrat. That's a half-point swing Republican, or trend. So it did trend Republican during the cycle. So either way, I think it'll get even more red. 5-6 points, I think. Maybe 7 points is best case scenario for the Republicans. Pennsylvania. If you get Sean Parnell, I think you win by lean margin. You maybe got big dude Fetterman, but he's starting to lose a little bit of that oomph because of the recent scandals with him. So either way, I think best case scenario, 3-4 point win for the Republicans. Now, Maryland. This may seem absolutely nuts. This may seem crazy. This may seem like I'm on drugs or something like that. But you run Larry Hogan, right? I know he's awful, but compared to the rest of the Northeastern clowns, I mean, on abortion, he's the best of the three. Like Phil Scott, Charlie Baker, Larry Hogan. He's by far the best on social issues. I think in a best case scenario, I think he could win. In an absolutely best case scenario, I do think Larry Hogan could win. I don't think he will, but if he runs, I think he could win. He is by far one of the better ones on immigration and social issues. He's not perfect. He still supports like stuff like DACA to an extent. But compared to the rest of the clowns, he's probably the best shot we have at flipping Northeastern state, outside of New Hampshire, of course. Vermont, if Phil Scott, who's just awful on issues, runs, everything goes his way, he would still not win. He's not going to win. I mean, he could maybe a 9-point loss, but no, he's not going to win. No matter what you do, you can nuke Vermont, it's not going to vote Republican, all right? It's not. Now, New Hampshire, best case scenario, Sununu wins by 10 points. Safe margin. So this could be the Republicans' best case scenario in 2022. Now, states like Washington, Connecticut could get a little bit closer, but I don't really, depends on Washington, depends if you run somebody that's more environmental friendly. Connecticut, run somebody that's like a fiscal conservative, don't really care about social issues, maybe, but I just don't see that happening. For the governor elections, we'll talk about. So, you get the point, this is the best case scenario for the Republicans. It could be better. I mean, you could say Illinois gets a bit closer, but you get the point. Outside of Maryland, you get the point that this looks like a good shot for the Republicans to have 55 Senate seats. Now for the governor elections. Safe Republican states. Let's just not mess around. Guys, you're not going to win in half these states. No matter what you do, you're not going to win. Just stop. You're cringe. You won't win. So these are the safe Republican states. Chad Santos, of course, in Florida. Now, the only reason for Kansas that does have an incumbent governor that's a Democrat, so that's the only reason it is not safe Republican. The safe Democrat states, California, and that's probably it. Outside of Rhode Island, and that's it. In Hawaii, of course. These are the 3 safe Democrat states. Again, this is the best case scenario. Everything falls apart. Everything blows up. Nothing goes well for Democrats. Now, I want to touch upon Virginia and New Jersey. Either way, I think Virginia will be a lead Democrat, say best case scenario. It's just Nova. That's the issue. I mean, even if you run somebody that's more fiscally right and socially center right, you're going to get their 2-3 point loss. New Jersey, you run somebody like Chris Christie again, not like him, that did some stupid stuff. It could get a tilt margin, but not going to flip. So, realistically, I do think Democrats will win New Jersey, barring somebody phenomenal being the nominee, which, as of now, I don't see that. But I do believe New Jersey's tilt Democrat. Now, for the rest of states, the likely Republican states will be Kansas, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, and that is it. Well, of course, Arizona, if Paul Gosar runs, and etc. These would be the likely Republican states. New Hampshire, you assume that the lieutenant governor runs again, and he would win. I do believe either way, you run somebody like Chris Sununu 2.0, you can appeal to those libertarian-esque types, but still be decent on the issues. Yeah, I think you would win by a 5-6 point win in the state of New Hampshire. Now, for the Democrats, the only likely states I believe would be Illinois, Maryland, New York, if assuming somehow Cuomo gets a nomination and it just blows up in his face. He would still win by 8-9 points, but it could get within 10 with Cuomo on the ballot. But just the right Republican could run, but you get the point. So these were the likely Democrat states. Illinois, same thing as the Senate race. Somebody that could appeal to the suburbs could get it closer. I mean, in a blue wave year, I mean, Pittsburgh only won by 16 points. He's not popular, and this was a blue wave year. So you just assume it gets a bit more Republican nationwide. Well, there you go. I mean, you go from a 16-point win to a 9-point win. Not too crazy when you look at the circumstances. Now, for the lean Republican states, Nevada, Georgia, and that is it for the lean Republican states. Now, Nevada, run Rick Harrison. I know that may seem like a meme, but I do believe he's the best case scenario for the Republicans that state. Georgia, it sounds like it's going to be Vernon Jones running. Enough said. I think he's going to win by 3-4 points. He can appeal to that old-fashioned Democrat base that still votes Democrat. I think he can. He is a former Democrat himself, so I do believe he will appeal to them. And he can get the base out. He's pretty good on the issues, so I think it's a lean Republican state. Now, the tilt Republican states. New Mexico state. And you probably have a chance of winning, all right? Again, he only lost by 5 points. And you're going to get Grisham, who really isn't that popular in the state of New Mexico. So I think that Mark Ricchetti could win the state if he decided to run. And Republicans don't waste money on a state like Colorado, which, best case scenario, lean, by the way. So yes. Now, Michigan. I do believe best case scenario, Republicans win that state. Same thing in Pennsylvania. I think they win by a tilt margin. Absolutely best case scenario. They could get Pennsylvania a bit bigger of a win, but I think that Pennsylvania still a statewide level is still in 2010. It's a bit more Democrat nationwide. So it's still in 2010 statewide. So I'm going to say it's a tilt Republican state either way. Michigan, again, Whitmer. I mean, she's not that popular, but I think that best case scenario, she would still only lose by like a half point. Now, Connecticut. I think could be a tilt Republican state. I mean, you look in 2018, this was a surprise. Ned Lamont only won by 3 against Bob Stefanowski. So, you run somebody that's similar to him. He's not as bad of a campaign. I do think Republicans would win the state of Connecticut. Now, for these other 3 states, Maine, I just don't see flipping as of now. I mean, yeah, Mills is an idiot, but I just highly doubt that she's going to lose. Minnesota, same deal. I mean, these 2 clowns, Tim Walz and Janet Mills, they suck, but don't see them losing. Oregon, again, I think that Kate Brown, these 3 states, I just don't believe that it will flip Republicans either way. So yes, this is the best case scenario for the Republicans in 2022 at a Senate level and a governor level. There's a lot of potential pickups for the Republicans to expand their base at a statewide level and a federal level. And yes, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, smash a like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yes. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.